Alright, welcome back again, Senator Trillanes. Medyo jet lag pa ako, but ang dami nangyari sa Pilipinas. First of all, Senator, bago natin pag-usapan itong kakaso lang kay Sara Duterte sa Ombudsman, if I'm not mistaken, and then itong mga expose from within the inner circle among others, ano po yung lay of the land ngayon? Safe pa ba si BBM from coup, from destabilization? Ano bang kalagayan ng Desperate Destabilization Supporters, DDS? Ano bang kalagayan nila?
Ang assessment ko is, I believe the President has weathered the worst. Okay? Kasi nung una, unknown siya eh. Unknowns. Ano? Hindi mo alam kung ano yung mga hidden na puwersa dyan. Meron bang withdraw ng support? Meron bang rogue elements? So, kahit na ang assessment sa military at that time, generally, the morale is high, the AFP leadership is intact, but yung ugong ando doon eh. Tapos the retirees were very active in trying to poach yung mga active officers. So you can never rule out a lone wolf or anything. But nung lumipas, tapos yung isa pa yung INC rally, kasi talagang in the lead up to that, ini-expect ng mga DDS people na maupo na si Sara, that they will paralyze Metro Manila. Yeah. So nobody doubted the capacity of the INC to mobilize people.
In fairness.
But it didn't turn out the way that DDS hoped it would turn out. Meaning, dalawang rally, EDSA, Luneta, ganon. And in short, lumagpas yun na walang nag-withdraw ng support, hindi na paralyze yung Metro Manila, and umuwi peacefully. So, yung November 30 naman, iba naman ang flavor nun, no? Iba ang panawagan. And so, generally peaceful. So, yun na yung ngayon.
What happened there? Bakit kaya parang may disconnect yung sinasabi ng mga DDS na nakisama sa INC at ang sinasabi ng INC? Was there miscommunication among them or nag-mis-expect yung Duterte camp na INC is on the same board as them in terms of political agenda?
Probably nung una, they were on the same page. But, merong interventions eh.
Right.
Di ba? Siyempre, the admin also did some interventions that in a way neutralized yung animosity or at least yung level of involvement ng INC with the Dutertes. So medyo gumitna na after ng mga interventions. Kaya nag-iba.
So na-isolate yung mga Duterte camp bigla.
Oo, pero hindi rin sila nag-deliver kasi it's supposed to be the EDSA rally.
Power,
EDSA kasi sa kanila Luneta yung sa INC. On the EDSA side, they didn't deliver yung numbers na siguro iniisip nila, ando doon naman yung INC, let's just pocket the money. Everybody had the same idea, kaya nobody produced the numbers na hinahope nila. So ngayon, wala nangyaring political impasse. Therefore, wala rin nangyaring withdrawal of support. Tapos yung mga retirees nila na maka-Duterte, siguro, plinay up din nila ng plinay up yung sentiments within the ranks, wala na nakuha na So, yon. Tapos, the President did two critical moves the past few weeks in relation to the AFP. Una, yung dialogue niya with the senior AFP generals and the senior enlisted personnel.
Right.
Yung mga sergeant majors. Na-appreciate nila yon. Na-address yung yung mga hinain nila. And as an offshoot of that meeting, in-increase niya yung basic pay ng mga sundalo. So, that means na naramdaman ng mga sundalo na, the president, the commander-in-chief cares about them.
Very valued.
Tapos, yung modernization, dire-diretso, dinagdagan ng pondo. So, importante sila. And while hindi naman nawala yun, yung kumbaga importante naman sila, siguro, na as far as the president is concerned, kaso mas na-highlight yun.
May reassurance.
Mas naramdaman nila. And with that, bilis, nawala yung sa barracks, nawala yung grumblings, nawala yung anything against the president. So, maganda yung nangyari.
Where do you see yung nangyari naman ng protest ng mga progressive centrist forces, let's just call them? What is your read of that? Kasi nationwide, lampas sa 95,000, maraming mga LGU involved. Naga, among different places. Pero yung nasa EDSA was not as overwhelming as nangyari nung September. Is it because may complacency? Is it because hindi clear yung messaging? Or is it because baka naramdaman ng tao, in fairness, the president maybe is just doing something, let's give it more time, gumagalaw naman ng ICI, baka naman there's no need to come out with anger and rage and potentially aiding yung mga destabilizing elements. What do you think went on there?
Ako, I will attribute that, yung at least yung relatively tame numbers dun
Yeah,
sa
tame,
EDSA, sa overplanning.
Oh, interesting. That's a good theory.
Paano? Kasi nakapagparali kami dyan sa EDSA. Exposed to the elements ka. You don't expose the public. Sa maghapon, kailangan kung dadali mo sila dyan, konting konsiderasyon naman yung hindi nagaano, yung palubog na yung araw. Sabihin mo kung ginawa nila ng 4 p.m. yun, start, tapos nagsimula yung program ng 4 p.m., tapos by 6 p.m. yun ang mga concert, ang puntahan ng mga tao concentrated. Ito hindi, it was spread eh. From 9.
Ang daming program. Congested yung schedule.
Oh, yes. Tapos yung pumunta nung 9, ando doon, ano expect mo? Maghapon sila doon?
Tapos
No,
uwi
uwi na
na yan,
sila.
yeah.
Umuwi na sila. Nung lunch, umuwi na sila. Then, a new batch came in. Nung hapon, nanonood ng concert. Ibang generation naman yon. Pero kung gusto mo ng concentrated fire, compress mo sila into maximum yan, 2-hour program.
And palubog yung araw para hindi mainit.
O, palubog na.
masyado.
Tapos, kung 2-hour program, 4 to 6, ito na yung, pwede na yung mga concert, mga
Right.
ganon. So, pang-build up na lang yon. Okay yon. Palagay mo kung kinumpress mo yung mga umattend doon sa rally na yon, ng November 30, into a 2-hour program, the whole day. Kumbaga, yung unique attendees, abot ka rin ng mga, siguro mga 70, 80,000.
1,000 easily. Oh.
Oo. Pero di ba, since spread all over the day siya, hindi mo nakita yung
Okay,
concentration.
I'll push you on that, no?
Yeah.
Real talk natin yan. Hindi kaya dahil ang daming mga grupo na ang daming gustong gawin para appease lahat, each will have their piece of the pie, kaya medyo, I won't say sabog, pero medyo all over the place.
Hindi naman.
Hindi naman.
Yung mga nag-isip kasi, yung nagplano, hindi sila sanay magparali doon. Maaring, dapat inisip
So,
nila.
well-intentioned lang talaga.
Well-intentioned, but naive. Di ba na akala nila, this will do the
Will
trick.
sustain through
Pero
the
kasi sabi ko nga, pag nag-rally ka dyan sa People Power Monument, sa sobrang init dyan, di ba? What do you expect? Ikaw ba? Gusto mo? Would you stay there?
Kasi yun yung nangyari nung 21 eh. Talagang buong araw eh. Doon pa ako ng 10 a.m.
Pero ano yun? Ang tawag nito, yung spontaneous.
Yeah.
Grabe pa yung galit nun.
Oh,
Parang yung
fresh pa eh.
million people march nun.
Yeah.
Pero hindi rin. May peak siya, tapos umuwi siya. Pahapon yun.
Oh, correct.
Ang
correct.
assembly nun was hapon.
Right.
It didn't start in the
In the
morning.
early in the day, yeah.
Oh.
Pero yun nga, parang iba-iba yung organizers. But I want to also ask on that before we go to the Dutertes, our favorite topic, obviously, yung mga idol natin, Pillars of Good Governance. Yung yung award ni Digong, yung Pillars of, parang siya yung Peace Prize ni Trump sa FIFA. may mga ganun na eh, may Hall of Fame na ganun. No, but going back to this, Senator, how did you feel yung, parang so you had a Miss Universe there, you had my good friend Chris Stander, among others. Is there, you think, too much hesitation to put political leaders? I mean, Cardinal Ambo is a leader, but he's a moral leader. He's not going to be a president. Or last time I checked, he doesn't have political ambitions, obviously. Maybe to be Pope, but not to be, not ambition, but I mean, maybe he'll be one day Pope. But don't you think dapat medyo front and center na yung mga political leaders? May clarity na sino na ba talaga ang champion ng tunay na pagbabago na hindi team kadaliman or kasamaan? Don't you think ganun? Or baka EPA lang dating pag ganun?
I believe ganun ang consideration. Yung mga politicians na pumunta doon,
Yeah.
they knew na dito lang kami sa side, just
Yeah.
being counted as a participant. Okay naman na yun. Pero kailangan kasi, there's that consciousness
Yeah.
that you only have this window.
Yun nga eh.
Hindi
At momentum
pwedeng,
yan
pagka sinispread mo yon, syempre, si Cardinal Ambo, sana yan nagsasalita dun
Right.
sa katedral, nakaupo kayo,
Correct.
may silong, ganon, he can take his time. Pero kung magse-sermon siya sa init na ganon, yung attention would
It's a
wander
different-
elsewhere.
it's a
di ba?
different
Na tipong,
geography, yeah.
O, ano ka eh, yun dapat ang basic consideration ng organizers. Di ba? Hindi nyo ba naisip yun?
Yeah.
Bibilad nyo yung mga tao
Yeah.
doon. So, kailangan may konting empathy eh. Pag
Ibang klase
pinaplano
ka
yan.
talaga, Senator. Pwede ka rin parang team pa, eventologist, di ba? Alam mo yung mga event, alam nila anong oras, logistics kasi yan eh.
Oo.
Logistics yan eh.
But
Oo.
you'll have to, di ba nag-local ako, nag-rally
Yeah,
ako.
alam mo yan, yeah, exactly, yeah.
Sabi ko, hindi tayo pwede magparally ng ganito.
Oo, tsaka yung palubog yung araw, doon ka nag-rally.
Kailangan. So,
Oo.
pagka may araw, ikaw ang iikot, mag-house to house
Correct,
mo.
correct.
Para, ako lang yung may inconvenience.
Oo,
Di ba?
hindi yung tao.
Yung hindi mga tao. Yun yung
So what do you think is, like it was more of a result of more of the organizational
Yeah.
logistics than really a reflection ng sentimiento ng tao. But you will agree that marami din siguro sinasabi nila, hintayin na, let's give the process a chance. Kasi nakasawan ng Diskaya, we'll talk about the Duterte soon, the ombudsman now, medyo gumagalaw na rin. Do you think there's also the aspect of that?
Pwede. But ako nakita ko yun eh. Tapos yung marketing.
Right.
The marketing, hindi siya ganun ka-viral compared noong September 21.
Correct.
Ito walang pumapasok na ganun. Why? Because masyadong ang sabog eh. Saan ba pupunta?
Yeah.
Yung sa alas 9 ba yun? Alas 9? Alas 3?
Hindi klaro.
Oo, saan yun eh. Iba-iba yung ano. Tapos may mga bandaro na very popular sa mga bata. Hindi nila nakita.
Yung Ben and Ben and
Oo,
all,
so
mga-
sayang. Yung mga
Sayang, oo.
it's over-planning and bad
Under-delivering.
marketing. Oo.
Wow,
Under-marketing.
I mean, we should make an eventologist. No, but
Hindi naman.
but I know yours.
Yeah.
I see your point. Kasi nakita ko naman yung ibang Magdalo organized events. I've attended some of them.
Yeah.
I've covered them. People can check that on my vlogs. I know exactly what you're talking about, Senator. But going back to this, Sonny, what about yung criticism na hindi klaro yung messaging ng opposition? Na ano ba talagang gusto nyo? Ayaw niyo niyang resign, ayaw niyo din yung ginagawa ng ICI, gusto niyo yung rule of law, pero hindi rin kayo happy. Like, do you think there's a little bit of a confusion there? Or it's actually a justified caution given may mga hyenas na vultures na nakapaligid doon?
I believe, the message, yun na nga siguro, because of the, bad marketing, o
Yeah.
bad advertising, hindi nasabi doon yung message.
Right.
Pero maliwanag doon sa mga speakers na it's a call for accountability. Di ba?
Na holistic.
Oo, call for accountability, return ng mga ninakaw, tapos to make sure hindi na ito maulit-ulit. So, panawagan yun sa administration. Para, yun na nga, yun yung hinahanap ng tao eh. Hindi pa naman parang, yung doon kasi sa Luneta, yung resign ganito, resign ganon.
Resign all.
It doesn't achieve anything eh. It doesn't achieve anything. So, but they did it anyway, di ba? Pero ito, maliwanag, it's a call for accountability. Okay naman sana yun eh. Yun na nga, mas naramdaman yon kung ginagawa.
Maganda yung marketing.
Oo.
So you think it's more like that, which could be corrected,
Yeah,
which is something that could be corrected. That's the
It should
good
be-
news.
Yeah, it should be corrected next time. I-compress it, i-condense mo yan, tapos talagang compel mo lahat. Palagay ko, makikita talaga nila, marami yon dapat. Doon kasi sa Iglesia Rally, yung kasi organized yun eh, mobilized yun.
Correct. Very well
Oo,
organized.
talagang they will stay there kasi yun yung discipline nung kanilang
Magaling talaga
brethren.
ngayon, no? In fairness, they're very well organized. Right.
Tsaka disiplinado yung mga tao
Correct. In
nila
fairness.
na hindi yung yung iba kasi pag minobilize mo pagkatapos konting dungaw-dungaw diyan babalik
Oo,
na. O kaya si
oo.
Silong, yung iba nga hindi na bumababa sa bus o sa jeep. Kumaga pagka organizer ka kasi ng mga ganyan events, makikita mo yung mga ganyan iba't ibang
Correct.
yun.
Let's talk about the Dutertes.
Yes.
In theory, you could make an argument na, ngayon, dahil sa scandal na yan, na-distract ng tao sa impeachment ni Sara, yung approval ni Sara napakataas kumpara kay BBM, si BBM hirap na, bogged down na. We'll talk about the ICI and BBM a little bit later towards the end of this discussion. But, following you, following some of our common friends like Ronald Diamas, following my own analysis, hindi rin safe ang mga Dutertes, no? I mean, Bato, as of this speaking, is MIA, right? Like, he's really, medyo as you said on my podcast too, it's a matter of time, di ba? And here we are.
Okay. Ito yung mga Dutertes. Unang-una, sila yung nag-ano nun. Di ba? While the President Marcos initiated the message, di ba? Yung
Right.
kaya naman kayo. Then, sila na nag-push. They were able to get to some of the witnesses. Tapos, sila nagpainit na painit.
Weaponizing.
Oo. Ngayon, the administration got so busy doing damage control, sila na ngayon yung nag-fanning the flames. Parang they try to project themselves as the polar opposites of the corrupt mga
Establishment,
contractors
oo.
ganyan. Yun. Pero hindi rin nagwash eh kasi si Sara had her own problems, di ba? She has her own problems. And in fact, finalan nga kanina ng planter.
Civil society groups,
Civil society groups. In a way, to remind everyone na ito mabigat ang mga kasalanan nito, di ba? When she was mayor, when she was DepEd secretary, when she was VP. Hindi to marunong yung sinasabing fiscal discipline o kaya na to spend yung pera wisely kung saan dapat. Hindi, talagang sa kanya, ang tingin niya sa pondo niya is personal funds. How she dispensed it. basta ibibigay sa kanya yung cash, then they do what they need to do.
Right.
And ito na nga, hopefully, this plunder case kay Sara sa ombudsman will trigger another request sa AMLAC ng mga bank records. Kasi this is the first time, no, in a long while na mayroon tayong bagong ombudsman na hindi nila tao.
Correct.
So, meron
Actually, may ginagawa, hindi siya figurine.
Yeah.
Kasi yung isa parang figurine lang, walang ginawa eh.
Oo. Ito kasi, ang AMLAC and Ombudsman, meron yan silang MOA na pwedeng silang kumuha ng list ng flag transactions from AMLAC for intel purposes, then eventually for reports, di ba?
Will they detect
money
it if
laundering.
ever ginalaw yung pera from the accounts?
It will still
Yung long-term record? Oo.
lalabas pa rin yan
Lalabas
kasi
pa rin yan, no? Oo.
nasa system na eh. I think from 2006 yan hanggang present.
So 20 years almost.
Oo, makikita mo. So doon, sabi ko nga, ano yung makikita natin doon? Yung dividends na nakukuha nila from that drug lord, na partner ni Michael Yang, sa kanilang pamilya to magkakapatid, Hanilet, pati nga si Kitty, doon magkasama sila. Pati si...
Talaga multi-generation.
Lahat, binibigyan ng
Sarap
dividendo
buhay.
ng drug lord every 6 months. So that's one. Pangalawa, yung series of withdrawals nila in the lead up to the 2016 elections. Ang total noon, puro withdrawals mga 600 plus million. So kung nag-withdraw ka ng 600 plus million sa account mo, therefore, you can conclude na hindi bababa ng 600 million yung pera mo doon sa account mo. Di ba? Kasi withdraw ng withdraw, wala namang pumasok So that's another one. Then, there are information coming in that yung billions of na nakaw nila, inilabas nila. So, lalabas din yon.
Na nilabas nila.
Oo, nalalabas
So
din
walang takas niyan, walang
Oo,
palusot
kasi
niyan.
kagaya ng mga dividendo nila sa drug lord, managers check ito
Correct.
in their name.
So may footprint talaga yan.
May footprint. Wala talaga.
Mahirap,
Oo. Ngayon lalabas yan. Yun yung iniiwasan nila. Kaya, hopefully, yan na ngayon yung makikita ng mga kababayan natin by early next year.
Na yung katotohanan. I mean, where does that leave Digong? Since last time we talked, we predicted na malabo na talaga makaalis si Digong, no? So, what is your expectation with Digong's situation? Yun na yan, that's it. Because we just had a ruling the other day, 20 years dun sa isa pang ICC criminal na binigyan na. So this ICC is not messing around.
Oo. And kung titignan mo yung evidence nung yung kinonvict na yun, talagang barya compared to...
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Oo. Ito, siya talagang it was a policy, publicly pronounced policy, and executed. Anyway, di ba, natuldukan ng interim release, yung jurisdiction, natuldukan na rin yan. Ngayon, yung fitness to undergo trial. Ito kasi, regardless of that decision, he remains detained. Hindi sabihin kunyari, may cognitive decline, therefore,
Pauwi na yan.
pauwi. No. You will remain in
You'll stay
detention because you will be periodically assessed.
Right.
Di ba? Pero even that, I doubt that. I'm most likely, made-deny din yan. So, i-declare nila na fit to undergo trial si Digong. Tapos, by early next year, yung confirmation of charges hearing tutuloy na. So, yun ang niya. And ito this may be a quick conviction. Baka before 2028 or thereabouts, makonvict na to.
It will not be the usual 3 to 7 years, no?
Oo, kasi ito, open and shut case ito So, pag nangyari yan, yun na yun. That's it. Diba?
And what about Bato? Is it true that there's a warrant of arrest already? I mean, what do we know so far? Kasi conflicting messages we're getting from the government.
Okay.
To the degree you can share. Okay, ganun na.
Let's just say na I'm not in a position to confirm or deny anything.
Okay.
Yun na yun. Ito na lang ang goni ni Bato.
Sige.
Meron siyang nakuhang information, yung in-announce ni Ombudsman Rimulya, di ba? Okay.
Why would he do that? Why would Ramulya even say that? Like,
Well, he has his reasons. He has his reasons. Okay, ando doon yun. Pero on the other hand, sabi ng mga government agencies and the Solicitor General, sabi niya wala namang warrant. Kasi di ba nag-file siya ng TRO? Sabi nung Solgen, premature yung TRO mo kasi wala pa namang warrant. So ano gagawin niya? Di ba to? Pag pumasok siya, pag lumabas siya, di ba masusubukan kung ano ba sino bang nagsasabi dito? Di ba?
Medyo
Ngayon,
mahirap.
kung
Correct.
hindi siya pumasok,
Correct.
may magpa-file ng ethics case sa Senado
Correct.
kasi hindi ka pumapasok na wala ka namang warrant.
Correct.
Di ba? O, anong ginawa mo? Para saan
Pero sinisweldo pa rin siya, di ba?
Oh, yes. To be fair kasi, ano pa naman, early days pa naman eh. Pero, kunyari mga 6 months down the road, teka muna, kuha ka na yan. Di ba? You're just being lazy.
Oo.
Kasi wala pa namang warrant, di ka pumapasok. O di, doon na ngayon, ite-test. Ano ba to?
Baka depressed din siya, parang tatay di ka may test din.
So, pagka pina-expel siya,
Right.
he will not be able to serve out the remainder of his term. By 2028, we can now get a new senator.
Yung vacant, yung vacant.
13,
So, 13 na.
13
Oh,
na.
wow.
O, kasi kailangan siyempre ng tao. Kailangan ng representation. Hindi naman siya namatay, hindi naman siya nagkasakit. Talagang
lagay
ayaw niya
ng
pumasok.
Lagay ng karton, yung parang kay Digong. Hindi ka lang gano'n yung... baka yun ang gusto ng constituency niya, yung may karton din na, magano tayo dyan, Karton Republic.
So, it's not productive naman siya sa Senado, but teka muna, you still have to, yun ang pinangako mo nung kumandidato ka eh.
Correct.
Tapos di ka papasok.
What about Bongo? Where is Bongo in the mix? Should he worry?
Si Bongo, mga next year pa yun.
But he should worry.
Yes.
So, i-ready rin niya yung karton niya.
And may final naman ako sa
Yeah.
sa ombudsman. Open and shut case din yun. Di ba? Liwanag eh. Tatay, kapatid yan eh.
Pangalan pa niya yung
Pangalan
yung
pa. Oo. 7 billion yan. 200 contracts yan.
Grabe.
Hindi mo sasabihin na, hindi, ano lang yun. Tsaba, hindi. 200 contracts.
buhay, no?
The most, yan the most number of contracts, even higher than
Duterte.
nakuha ni Diskaya. So, anyway.
Wait, his family has more projects than this guy.
Oo.
So may point si this guy na hindi sila talaga yung binaka.
And in fact, yun na nga, sabi when I had the conversation with Vico Soto, sinabi niya, si Bongo ang nasa likod ni Diskaya. Siguro nahiya na siya na puro tatay kapatid niya yun. Kaya kinuha nila si Diskaya. Kaya na-elevate si Diskaya sa national noong 2017. Nag-coincide.
I think the PCIG report is clear that the Discayas were in the game but a small-time player. It was really from 2016 to 2017 under Digong na biglang lumobo yung ligaya talaga yung Diskaya, no? That's absolutely clear, no?
So naghahanap kasi sila ng pwedeng gamitin na front. So, yan ang panibonggo. So kung hindi man siya madadali ng ICC next year, early next year, dito siya dapat, dito sa ombudsman. Kasi hindi pwedeng, hindi pwedeng legal yung ginawa nila na yon. Na within my sphere of influence, bibigay ko sa tatay ko at kapatid ko yung kontrata. No. Nakalagay doon sa batas, that is prohibited up to the 4th degree of consanguinity and affinity. Tapos yun lang ang proof mo. Pagka may kontrata kang pinakita na inaward sa tatay kapatid, ang burden of proof would shift dun sa akusado.
Right.
Sasabihin mo ngayon kung bakit walang conflict of interest dyan.
Balikan natin si Sara. So, yung ating Supreme Court, din ako magsalita kasi may contempt case ako dun ba? So basically pero pwede mag-refile ulit yung impeachment next year, di ba?
Yes, sa February.
So,
pero in one interview ni Ombudsman Rimulya, he was saying na
silang pwede mag-recommend for filing.
Pwede niyang i-recommend sa magbibigay
Sa Kongreso.
itong mga pinag-aaralan niya ng kaso. Kasi even before the plunder case that was filed today, meron nang na-refer yung House of Representatives yung investigations nila, finoward na ron. So, nagsisimula na yung fact-finding doon. At the end of that, pag nakita niyang may probable cause, he will recommend to the HOR and sa Senate, sa HOR, impeachable ito. So they can initiate. Or sa Senate, pwede mong i-unarchive yung...
I-unarchive. And what is your read of your former institution, Senate? Do you think the current composition is stable enough to oversee a potential unarchiving of impeachment next year?
I don't see that. I don't see that without any strong political pressure. Pero ito yan. This is where the new Supreme Court rules would come into play. Kasi sinabi nila na pagka-final mo yung impeachment...
Tightened siya,
No, but ito yung mas maganda. It would work against the Dutertes. Why? Kasi sinabi doon, pag final mo, i-hear mo sa House.
So the real impeachment could start actually as early as
Sa House.
then,
At without the intervention of the Duterte senators. So parang quadcom yan. You'd be able to expose Sara sa impeachment process at the House committee pa lang. Pwede ka makakuha ng additional evidence doon pa lang sa House.
So more scrutiny kaagad.
Kaagad.
Boom.
Doon
De facto
pa lang.
trial.
Tsaka walang magugulo like mga Cayetanos, Marcoletas of the world. Walang
Yung mga nag-aabogado para kay
walang
Sara.
ganon. Kasi ito, parang quadcom yung dating. Di ba? So,
Baka yung Mark Oleta Jr., meron pang isa pang Mark. Sila Barzaga. Ay, suspended pala siya, no? Hanggang kailangan, baka hindi niya maabutan.
Yeah.
Having said that, is the Congress stable enough itself? With the President pushing for anti-dynasty bill, the reshuffling, the whole Martin Romualdez episode, do you think the Congress is coherent enough to oversee this the way it used to do? Or how to make sure na the Congress is on an even keel?
It
Kumbaga,
remains to be seen. Ano? It
Yun nga
remains
eh.
to be seen. But, depende to kay President Marcos. If he's really going for the jugular, he can really...
Should he go for the jugular, you think, at this point in time?
I think there's no choice at this point. Di ba?
Exactly.
Pagka naging presidente to si Sara, what do you think? Will she spare the Marcoses? No.
Matinga tayo eh.
Oo, di ba?
May listahan na siya eh.
May listahan na siya.
Yeah.
So, yun. Wala na siyang choice at this point. Kaya nga sabi ko, if he really believes na
Right.
he needs to go for the jugular, kahit ibalik niya si Speaker Romualdez at the helm. Di ba? Yun na yun eh. Kasi that's the only way mo at this point in time. Kasi nag-hesitate yung mga congressman. Teka muna, ano ba to? Di ba?
But the evidence on Romualdez was not strong if it's from Zaldico and all, right? I mean,
yeah.
I don't think that's going to go far, right? In terms of, I mean, I had Justice Scorpio on the show also saying mukhang mahina yung circumstantial, yung accusation kay Martin Romualdez at this point in time.
Yun din naman yung sinabi ni Ombudsman Rimulya sa interview
Yun nga
niya
eh.
na wala sa documents, walang direct na testimony. But yun na nga, if he clears it the next few months, there's no reason for him to be put in the freezer still, di ba?
Still could come back.
Well, depende nga yun. Ang
Yeah.
necessity kasi nito is if you want to go for the jugular.
You need the center of gravity. And
Oo.
Martin was very effective last year,
Oo.
holding it together.
Kasi meron na silang rapport eh.
Exactly.
Unlike itong si Speaker D, ano siya bago siya sa
Yeah,
national
hindi
speak.
solid
Oo,
yung-
iiba dyan eh. Kasi kailangan
Yeah.
yung person-to-person relationship mo.
Correct.
Yan. Tapos meron ka mga lieutenants to
Correct.
do the weeping, di ba? So, yun. That's a decision that the president needs to make.
Before we go to the last part of our discussion, Secretary, I want to ask again, ano itong latest expose na insider sa grupo nila, Sara? Ramil ba yun? Son of that guy. It looks parang legit yung nakikita kong documents. Like, this guy was really close to the Sara Duterte family. Like, can you tell us what you know about the case?
Ano yan? Pinag-aaralan namin the past few weeks.
Whistleblower material to, no?
Yes, may potential to be very explosive. Pero we're approaching it with
Due
caution,
diligence, due
kasi
diligence, yeah.
may mga gaps pa rin sa storya. Pero supposed to be mafe-fill in itong gaps na to with the other corroborating
So,
evidence.
supplement sila.
Oo. So, pag lumabas 'yon, I think this is a major blow
Potential slam dunk, no?
kay Sara. Ngayon, ito lumalabas yung iba't ibang issues at makikita mo rin the way the other side is defending.
Correct.
Alam mong full court press sila dito eh.
Correct.
Grabe yung mga influencers nila, talagang hands-on sila sa
You mean Pro Duterte one?
Pro Duterte.
Pero parang laos na sila. I don't feel their power. Medyo mahina na sila.
Yes, but I
They
think
try.
they're trying.
Yeah.
Tsaka doon sa echo chamber nila,
In
they
fairness,
need to convince their base na hindi to totoo.
Correct.
'Di ba?
So, on the defensive sila.
On the
Nahirapan
defensive.
sila. Yeah.
Even si Harry Roque nagsalita. Kaso, so far, nag-check out. I was listening to Madriaga's lawyer. Sinasabi na yung the early, the basic background information, nag-check out. So, next na lang nito yung mga critical information.
Right.
So, we shall see, di ba?
Interesting.
So, yeah.
Very interesting. So that leaves us really with the last part of our discussion, which is probably the most important part. Ano ba dapat gagawin ng mga, like sabihin natin, Pink 2.0 movement? We have had this discussion back and forth. Medyo nagtampo ka rin yata sa akin last time kasi nag-split ako. You also see what I'm trying to do, right? I'm trying to put this thing together. Even if I agree with you, Senator Trillanes, my point is that we have to stick together.
Yeah.
This is a historic opportunity for us to shape the last years of BBM and shape the battlefield for 2028, right?
Yeah. So, the way I see it, the political terrain is divided into four blocks. The Duterte block, the Marcos block, the middle forces, and the
Crazies.
The non-aligned.
Okay.
The people who are just
okay,
busy living life. Ano? Yung,
Hindi, then yung crazies, kaya Battle of Five Armies ang sabi. Di ba may mga crazies na gusto nila unta, council, whatever.
yun. Pero ano na yun, masyado.
Fringe na yan.
So anyway, 4 major blocks.
Yeah.
So, ito, ang pinakamalaki dyan, yung mga non-aligned actually. Okay.
Yes, they're the majority, yeah.
Tapos itong pag pinagsama mo yung Middle Forces and the Marcos base, slightly higher siya doon sa Duterte base. So, with that,
I think WR Numero and Octa also, no? They had similar numbers also, I saw like that.
yes, and we
And your internal ones, yeah. So it corroborates.
Yeah.
It
Okay. So, ang pinakang ano dito, the pink should, at least the middle force, the leaders, should embrace the reality that we cannot do this alone.
Right.
And kaya, the only way for us to make sure na hindi Duterte sa mananalo sa 2028 is unite with the Marcos base.
Grand coalition?
Yes, kung ano man, no? Ang bottom line kasi dito is the narrative in 2020 it should be between the Dutertes and the anti-Dutertes. So ganun lang 'yon. Itong what does the Dutertes represent? All the undemocratic practices
And
history na.
unpatriotic too.
Yes,
There's the
unpatriotic.
China element.
Yeah, so doon 'yon, 'di ba? Everything na that they represent yun, then dito sa kabila. Hindi, kaya talagang wala nang puwang yung mga purists. They should be muted on the side kasi hindi talaga. Ngayon, ito naman yung position ko, di ba? Na, you need to have, kaya nga hindi ako receptive dun sa mga purist icons. Kasi, nakakawang ka na naman, matotrouble ka na naman. So, ang pinakang doon is, mababa yung ceiling nila eh. Mataas man sila ngayon, pero, if you're looking for...
Wala silang agglomeration effect. Hindi sila suportahan ng
mga Ilocano. So,
hindi.
masyadong malalim yung sugat. They just not vote na tipong...
I hear Risa when I talk to them. They like Risa.
Oo. So, merong ganon. At least si Risa is just focusing on policies, di ba? Running after crooks like Kibuloy,
Alice Go.
di ba? Alice Go, yung sino yung sa dinagat na senior, something
right,
yun.
right.
And even Duterte. Kumbaga, nakafocus siya doon. While, syempre, yung iba, they're not even in the fight, di ba? So, yun ang kuha natin. Yun ang nakikita ko rito.
But in terms of messaging, no? Pambait natin pareho. In terms of messaging, is there something to the Bam Aquino way of, okay, let's talk about accountability now, but let's talk about farming, agriculture, education. Should we also have that kind of constructive, concrete? Kasi sabi mo nga, pinakamalaki is non-aligned eh.
Yeah.
At kung kausapin mo sila, ang concern talaga nila yung pinaka-basic needs eh. Do you think we should, kasi in fairness, that worked for Bam, number 2 siya, that worked for Kiko, number 5 siya. Do you think we should, I know it's Senate, different yung President, but I do believe may point din sila, Bam, na baka we also want to avoid the too pa-woke or too sanctimonious messaging.
I agree, but ito yan. Do you think hindi sasabihin niya nung kabilang side? Both sides will say those things. Parehas lang sasabihin nila yan. Parehas sasabihin nila yan. Kaya nga, pero yung base, just like in the US, di ba, yung Democrats, Republicans, it's so polarized.
Correct.
Ang agawan is the moderates.
Talaga, yeah.
O yung moderates ngayon na nagsiswing eh. Pero yung Republicans and Democrats, hindi mo na sila
So how do we get the moderates, the swing voters?
Yun na nga. Pagka mas marami kang mag-i-influence,
Right.
di ba, mas maraming kukuha sa kabila, makukuha mo yun. Yun na yan. Yung messaging kasi, that's the job of the marketing people, di ba? The comms
Right.
people. But yung real people na tipong ako, ayoko ng mga Duterte, I will try to influence as many people as I can. Huwag dyan. Ngayon,
You know that from Caloocan, many DDS supported you.
Yes. Ngayon, mas marami kayong gumagawa niyan, mas marami kayong makukuha. Ultimately, sabi ko nga, the narrative is the Dutertes versus the anti-Dutertes. Yun ang ultimate narrative na lalabas. Ngayon, yung sasabihin, yung affordability ngayon, ang
Yung
issue,
mga
di ba?
ganun, yeah.
Sasabihin nyo yun. You will need to say the right words.
But they'll also say that, mag-ano rin sila sa kabila.
Just like what happened noong 2022, di ba? Ang messaging ni President Marcos is unity, di ba?
Yeah.
Ano bang message ni
Lenny
Robredo? Di ba? Good governance.
Right.
Pero ano yung linya? The battle lines were drawn between
I see your point.
So ganun.
Ang point ko is, everyone is gonna dump populist anyway. It's talaga dun sa prinsipyo at saka yung nationalism, dun tayo magkakaroon ng clarity and at saka juxtaposition. Super last ito. But in terms of underground warfare, ayoko naman makancel ka. Pero as you know, na persona non grata ako in 7 cities in Mindanao, right? For my Human Development Index comment. How do we reach out to our brothers and sisters in Mindanao? Kasi we have to win some in Mindanao at the end of the day, right? Hindi pwede yung watak-watak yung bansa. We need to win back our brothers and sisters.
So ito na nga ang formula. The same merger or coalition na sinasabi ko between the Marcos base and the middle forces.
Yeah.
Ito ngayon ang magiging ang contribution, ang taya nung Marcos base.
Right.
Kasi nasa kanilang machinery. Mga LGUs, very influential 'yan. So, 'yun ang makukuha mo. Maybe not not as yung grassroots, yung base, maaaring hindi. Pero yung mga LGUs, pagka tumaya yan, sa kabila, very influential 'yan. Yun nga ang naging blunder nito ni Toby Chanco because by his own admission, he did not campaign anymore sa Mindanao.
Toby Chanco, why is everyone interviewing him? Last time I checked, he oversaw one of the most failed midterms election campaign. How is he suddenly now the man of exposing and man of accountability? Bakit yung media hindi nagda-double check? Itong tao ay kapalpakan lang ang na-oversee niya. And kamusta yung kanyang constituency in terms of public service and all of that?
Yun na nga. He has his own flood control projects. Tapos, hindi naman nangangampanya yan eh. Kasi ang mga Chancos, well-established sa
Yeah.
So, he doesn't have a clue about running a national campaign and true enough, he failed miserably dahil hindi siya nangampanya. Pero, yung mga LGUs, pag na-win over mo yan sila, tumaya yan sila, they can bring their own loyal constituencies. Maaring sabihin mo ng majority pa rin, but you can chip away a big deal sa
kurot-kurot
Oo.
put together.
And after nun, with the new president, everybody would give that new president a chance. Babawas yung yung animosity, yung polarization, mababawasan kasi it's time to move on. Eh ngayon, that's now the time to pour some attention sa Mindanao kung ano ba talaga yung real problems nila na sinasabi nila na sinod ni Digong. Anong sinod? Karamihan ng mga poor provinces nasa Mindanao pa rin, di ba? Tapos yung binigyan niya ng mga project, yung Davao na kanino napunta doon sa mga anak niya.
Mga warlords, mga dynasties, exactly.
Yeah. So kumbaga, it's a myth eh. They created that myth. So, pagka nagkaroon ng presidente na maayos sa 2028, it's time to shatter that myth.
Mindanao will benefit also again,
Talagang gawin mo na yung development sa Mindanao para maramdaman talaga nila yung difference. Na hindi naman na yan, yung Imperial Manila na yan, it's just a construct ng mga taga Mindanao pa na gustong sumingit doon sa
or yung mga warlords doon na nagde-deflect ng blame from their own failures and corruption.
Precisely. Oo. Because andun din sila sa poder eh. Bakit? Ba't hindi nila na-improve?
Pero yung poder nila sa Forbes, di ba? Sa Dasma. Dami ko kilala taga Mindanao politician dito nakatira sa Forbes and Mas imperial pa sila sa ating dalawa ng taga QC lang, di ba? Medyo mabait talaga tayo this time. Maybe it's the year-ender. Are you feeling more optimistic about next year, Secretary? Because 2025 was really a crazy year. I think it was a crazier political year.
Especially last November, mabigat.
Yeah, it was so crazy, right?
Yeah. But I think, sabi ko nga, we've gotten over the hump. But 2026, war of attrition yan.
Yeah.
So
kumbaga temporary ceasefire lang, parang ganun. On that note,
let's enjoy Christmas muna.
Let's enjoy Christmas. On that note, thank you very much. To be honest, Senator, I want to have you also in my other dark studio. Hopefully, kung pwede ka pa later this month. Let's make that work. But thank you so much for welcoming us here into your bunker, to your headquarters. I always appreciate being here. Mabuhay ka, Senator Gagad, but you never know, maybe next year. Senator Trillanes, mabuhay ka for your support and power. Alam mo, every time I say na papunta ako dyan, si Senator Trillanes bang interview mo? Dami natutuwa sa'yo. Interestingly, hindi lang pinks, but yung mga loyalista, mga neutral, tuwan-tuwa sila sa'yo. Mukhang gusto ng tao matapang yan, no? Yung real na matapang. Nakita na nila yung budol, no? Napagod na rin siguro ng tao sa budol. So, namumulat din ng tao. So, thank you so much, Senator, maybe Secretary next year for this fantastic discussion. God bless po and talk to you soon. Again, don't forget to catch us again here on Deep Dive, yung mga episodes natin. Marami tayong mga year-enders. We're gonna have Justice Carpio, Ronald Llamas soon, and also we have big events sa Manila House, including medyo konyo-konyo vibes natin with sila Leloy and a couple of other leading economies. Pag-usapan din naman natin dyan yung Philippine economy. That's a very, very important issue. So there again, with Senator Trillanes. Fantastic episode. Salamat. God bless.
Gangster, you know, we do that better than anybody.
I bet you got it twisted, you don't know who to trust. So many player hating niggas trying to sound like us. Say they ready for the front, but I don't think they know it. Straight to the depths of hell is where them cowards going. Well, all you still down, nigga, holler when you see me. And let these devils be sorry for the day they finally free me. I got a caravan of niggas every time we ride. Hitting motherfuckers up when we pass by. Until I die, live the life of a boss player. Cause even